The California Covenant. 5 Sacred Books for the Digital Age, from Silicon Genesis to the New Promised Land plus Joshua. Introduction. This modern interpretation reimagines the first 6 books of the Bible through the lens of contemporary California, where tech workers become modern Israelites and Silicon Valley represents Egypt. The sacred texts are retold for the digital age, transforming ancient stories of liberation and covenant into a narrative of economic justice, environmental stewardship, and community transformation. Genesis. Silicon Genesis, the Valley's creation story. In the beginning, the Creator designed the heavens and the earth, speaking light over Mount Diablo and separating the Pacific waters from San Francisco Bay. Through 6 days of divine creation, God formed California's sacred landscape, from coastal redwoods to desert Joshua trees, from gray whales migrating the coast to condors soaring over Big Sur. On the 6th day, the Creator made humans in the divine image, a beautiful mosaic of Latino, Asian, African, European, Black, and indigenous peoples, commanding them to be stewards of this holy land. God planted a garden in Eden Valley, where rivers flowed to water the earth, including the Sacramento and San Joaquin. Into this paradise, the Lord called Abraham Washington Santos to leave corporate idolatry and establish his covenant community. Through 50 chapters, from creation to Joseph's God-given visions in the Central Valley, the Creator reveals how divine innovation and environmental stewardship become acts of worship in the digital age. Exodus. Breaking free, liberation from corporate bondage. God raises up Moses Rodriguez Washington as his prophet to deliver his people from Silicon Valley's modern pharaohs. Through divine signs and wonders, the Lord breaks the chains of tech exploitation and housing oppression. 40 chapters chronicle God's mighty hand leading his people through the wilderness of organizing, his presence guiding them as they build holy institutions rooted in his justice and mercy. Leviticus. Sacred community, laws for collective living. The Lord speaks through Moses and his appointed ministers, establishing holy laws for his covenant community. In 27 chapters, God ordains systems of divine justice, sacred economics, and stewardship of his creation. The Creator's Jubilee principles, forgiving debts and redistributing his land, reflect his kingdom on earth through community governance. Numbers. The Valley Census, organizing for the long journey. God commands his people to number themselves, preparing for the holy mission ahead. Through 36 chapters, the Lord tests and refines his community, teaching them to trust his provision amid growth and opposition. The Creator prepares a new generation to inherit his promises while purging faithlessness and rebellion from their midst. Deuteronomy. The Valley Community Covenant. Before God calls Moses home, his servant delivers the Lord's final instructions to the people. These 34 chapters contain the Creator's covenant requirements, divine laws of economic justice, environmental stewardship, and holy community. Moses reminds God's people to choose life by following the Lord's ways, warning against the idolatry of wealth and power. Joshua. The Valley Conquest. The Lord appoints Joshua Martinez Washington to lead his people into the promised land of transformed California. Through 24 chapters, God goes before his people as they cross the Sacramento River, their Jordan, demonstrating his power in the peaceful transformation of cities. The Creator fulfills his promises as communities dedicate each territory to his glory and renew their sacred covenant to serve him alone. Conclusion. These sacred retellings transform ancient biblical wisdom into contemporary prophecy, where worker cooperatives replace corporate exploitation and community land trusts embody the Jubilee year. Through this modern covenant, the timeless story of God's liberation continues, calling today's believers to build the beloved community in the digital age.